So he's lying on the ground being a child. Decided to drop a little bit of water onto your face to get you up. But obviously it's dark and I can't see anything, so I didn't actually like properly aim. Instead, I ended up pouring a little bit of water, and that was it. Aaron's all red.
Yeah. I just remember, like I said, my recollection's vague, but I was pretty pissed about him pouring water in my ear. So I just got up, pulled my hand back and punched him. I punched him in the arm. But what I can't remember...
Punch me in the chest. You know, when someone punches you, there's always that like male instinct to like retaliate.
Well, I remember you were pissed off about it, but then I remember as soon as I punched you, I immediately snapped out of my see red moment, and I was like, alright, I was a bit far.
Well, no, so he punches me, and like, yeah, I would never hit my friends, but like the instinct was for me to like shove him, like just off me, but I didn't end up doing that. And then I remember I just turned, I just looked at you and I just said, did you just fucking punch me? And then that's when you snapped out of it. That's when you snapped out of it, and you were like, yeah, I'm really sorry that I probably took it too far.
Yeah, I was like, alright, maybe this is a bit much. So not really the...
Alright everyone, welcome back to this week's episode of the Six Pack Podcast. I am your host, Alex, and of course I am here with Aaron, as per usual.
Hello.
Yeah, it's obviously standard podcast material when you've got the two boys sitting down and drinking beers, but there is a little bit of a twist this week, isn't there?
Well, you can tell we're not at our usual table.
No, we're not at our usual round table.
Normally we film at his house, however, this week we're at mine. We're in my study. So we've improvised, used the desk of drawers as our table for today, sitting on the two chairs I've got in there. Pretty comfy little scene, really.
Yeah.
Normally we sit on your crappy dining table chairs.
I do think the round table gives
I like the round table.
a bit of character.
But, well, you've got your comfy chair, but I don't let you sit on it because I then have to sit on the crappy one. And I feel like that ruins it.
Maybe this is a bit of an upgrade this week. Usually, like, I do have like a chair like this. Less gaming and more like an office chair. But I usually don't get to sit on it because Aaron refuses to let me sit on it because otherwise he'd be sitting.
Which is already what I explained to the viewers. I'm glad that you've repeated it. There must be man, this room, it's so echoey.
Man, we can't film it here again. There's an echo.
Bad
echo. This week we're going to be, again, of course, reviewing another brew. It's a very unique one, similar to last week. It's not one that you might be able to find in the shops all that much. You might not have been able to see it.
Unless you live in Australia, then you'll really easily...
Actually, that's a good point. I'm being discriminatory to different regions.
Yes.
I'm saying that sarcastically being in Australia because this beer is everywhere. But as a non-Australian, if you're a non-Australian guest, welcome. But yeah, Great Northern Original. Brewed and bottled in Australia. Actually, I don't know what it is.
Brewed at, yeah.
It is brewed and bottled in Australia. So I was actually correct in making that statement. It's just, sometimes, they say, then they send it away somewhere.
Well, this is only brewed, like, just up the road,
yeah,
really.
Along the highway, right? Yeah.
Between Gold Coast and Brisbane.
Yeah.
So, nice local beer, really, we're drinking. We're sampling a local delicacy.
We are.
Yeah.
We, in fact, are.
So, how was your week?
Jay, it's flown by. Good. No, it's good. I said today, like, we're filming this on a public holiday, so that's nice.
Yeah, it's Australia Day here in Australia.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been nice having an extra day off. But in saying that, I also had Monday off this week, so I'm literally getting away with a 3-day week.
You're not doing much this week.
No.
Lazy week.
No, well, look, it's not lazy. Like, on the Monday that I was away, I had, like, 180 emails in the span of 24 hours, which is okay. It's like a standard day, but it's a bit...
How many of them did you read?
All of them. Sometimes I get the delete button. But like it's not. I always read everything and always remove it if it's like unimportant.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been good. I have had my sister here up from Sydney, which has been great. So just been doing a very social week. Had a lot of dinners. Had a lot of drinks. Went to Wet and Wild actually on Monday. And for those who don't know what Wet and Wild is,
did you get Wet and Wild?
No. So I instead of saying I went to Wet and Wild, I've coined the term wild and wet. I feel like, for a simple, Wet and Wild is a water theme park country.
It really changes the meaning just for the simple
Correct.
thing.
It's just a switch.
Well,
Wet and Wild.
Imagine if it was called Wild and Wet.
It would be not kid friendly, that's for damn sure. Yeah, but so I went to Wild and went on Monday. Went on a few rides, if you know what I mean. But no, it was good. It was actually a lot busier than I was expecting. I thought it was going to quiet down. That school holidays are kind of like ending.
Well, they're not done yet in New South Wales, at least.
No, and I think that's the thing. I think they're all interstate. But it was good. Went on a few rides. My girlfriend had an incident, which was quite frustrating. We waited in line for about an hour. Well, we waited in line for about an hour. And then she'd been wearing a necklace the entire time. Went on like 4 other rides. It wasn't a problem. But we waited in this one. We got to the front, whatever. We went up to the ride. It was one where like you stand on the thing and like drops out and you fall.
They got different rules for that one.
Yeah, they do. And so we get up there and the guy is like, "You can't come on this ride." It's like, "Why?" He's like, "Because you have a necklace on." And she's like, "But the girl downstairs like didn't say anything." And he goes, "No, like she should have." And she's like, "She didn't." And because the girl at the front was like gas bagging, like she was talking to a bunch of everyone. Like, "Oh look, I'm all for people having a chat while they're doing the job, but do your fucking job."
Yeah.
While you're having a gas bag, you know what I mean? And you have one job, which is to check for jewelry and weigh people. That's it. Like, just make sure people are not. It's not even about being overweight. It's about being underweight, so you can make the loop. Check their weight and like check.
Then it would have saved you all this trouble.
Yeah. So we get up there and she's like, "I don't want to take this off because like I don't want to entrust it with people. I don't know because it's expensive and it means like it's got meaning to her." And so I'm there with my sister as well. At 3 of us sitting at the top, and like, "Oh, I'm gonna go down, drop it off, and like tuck it in a corner somewhere, and then like come and get it." And I was like, "Okay, I'll wait at the top here." And then I said to my sister, I was like, "Hey, like, she's going down to drop off her necklace. Like, just hold up like the guy said that we can wait and just like wait at the top, and then we can have our go."
Yeah.
My sister did not get that message. She jumped in one of the pods, and the next thing I know, I'm like, "Oh, gee, where's my sister gone?" And I just see her go down the thing, and I'm like, "Well, now I'm up here by myself." And then I got stuck with a bunch of annoying teenagers, which was funny. One of which who didn't end up going on the ride because he was too scared to get stuck.
Yeah. I mean, at least it was, or at least they like didn't make you like nah, that's it. You gotta go line up again.
So that actually happened. So my girlfriend went down, and when she got to the bottom, she went and had a word to the girl and said, "Hey, like, look, I waited for an hour just to get turned away at the top. Like, can I drop it off and go back?" She refused. She said that she could not go back up. So she didn't end up going on the ride at all.
How'd she let you know that she wasn't coming back up?
Well, they radioed up and said that she's not coming back.
Oh.
I was like, sick. No, I went on the ride with a bunch.
And I'm assuming Charlie was really happy about that when you got down the bottom.
Not at all. Not at all. And it's like fair enough. Like,
yeah, it's frustrating to get because she had no issue down the bottom.
And
someone at the top says something, then she goes all the way down. Then again, there's another issue with the communication.
Yeah, and again, like I understand the rule because it's like it's one that drops out. Like if you got a necklace, we'll fly up. But like, we're sitting there in our like swimming togs. Not a whole lot else. The only other thing other than swimmers or a bikini was the necklace. Like it's not easy to miss.
It's a lot of negative communication.
Yeah, but anyway, so we wrapped up after that one. And to be fair, it was like right when the park was closing anyway.
Yeah.
But that was fun. Yeah, so it's been a relatively good week for me. What about you?
Yeah, it's like TAFE. If you don't know, TAFE is like, I guess, college. It'd be like the American equivalent. Have you guys seen the show Community? It's like that. It's always community.
Are you doing that thing again where you ask Dora the Explorer questions?
Comment below if you've seen Community. It's a pretty good show. Anywho,
I love Community.
We got great. Anyway, shut up. We get back chapter. We're getting sidetracked. Yeah, it's a community college essentially, but I'm studying to be like an electrician, so it's like a 10-week course. So it's pretty fun. I enjoy it, but I don't get paid for it, and I live out of home, so I need money somehow. So $20 is $20 at the moment. I'm kidding. I do Uber Eats driving on the side, and I work in childcare. So I've been doing.
I'm not paying the $20. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, I've been doing the Uber Eats stuff. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, but you just decided not to drive today.
No, it's 35
degrees
here in Gold Coast, and my car's air conditioning doesn't work.
Does it need regassing, or is it probably?
No, I tried to get regas. I went to go get regas because that was the issue with my old car, the Mazda, and they were like, "We're gonna swap the gas in. I'm afraid it needs a new air compressor." I was like, "How much does that cost?" Like $1,000. I was like, "Fucking hell!" But we haven't had too bad of a summer here in Gold Coast, so I've sort of been able to get away with it. But this week has been the worst week so far of summer. We've had
in terms of heat.
Yeah, it's been 35-degree days. Then at night it just doesn't cool down. Like it's been aircon You really need the aircon the last few days here, and like we got in Gold Coast, you get really bad humidity. Same with Brisbane. The humidity's just been crap, so the feels like it's like 40 degrees. So yeah, I didn't bother to. I just chilled in the pool, had a couple of drinks, and then came back here and we filmed the pod.
Did you take tinny at all?
Nah, it's too hot. It's too hot for the tinny. It's the fucking metal.
You can't touch the sides of it.
Yeah, it's not that fun in the sun. Because you know what I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also had I had my uncle here as well today, so I had my uncle over from WA, which was nice. Caught up with them, had some drinks, had some lunch. That was the other thing I forgot. I always remember things, I feel like, while you're talking.
Yeah.
Because I have a habit of getting distracted.
You have a habit of just droning on and on and on.
Yeah, I've been told that. That's fine.
Well, I mean, me and you, we went to Big Bash.
Oh! Of course! How could I forget?
I mean, you've got some content for that, don't you?
I did, yeah. So actually, so Aaron and I went to the Big Bash, corporate hospitality kind of tickets with our girlfriends, which was nice, just the four of us. And yeah, I filmed a bunch of content, so hopefully you should see that coming out on our vlogs channel. Check it out in the channel description, the channel area where you can see all of them. We've obviously got our gaming, our vlogs, our shorts, and our podcast. So check out our vlogs. You'll see it on there soon. Do we want to go into detail about that? I feel like we're rambling on a bit, but
nah, just stay tuned for the vlog. Was fun.
Maybe it's
fun content.
Yeah, it's an opportunity. Check it out. It was a good time.
Yeah.
It was fun. Way too much to drink.
Yeah, definitely. And nothing interesting came out of that, did it?
So, do I speak?
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess the most interesting thing that came out of that was, I ended up, while we were waiting for our ride home, I decided that the ground looked pretty good for a quick little power nap. Because I'd had a few bevies, and I was...
It was free drinks, right? You gotta take advantage of that way, you've got it.
So yeah, I had a few bevies and I decided to have a lay down on the ground, have a quick little power nap, waiting for the Uber. And Alex made the brave decision to pour water in my ear.
Okay, alright, let me tell this story from my perspective.
The
You seem like the victim here, the way that you're saying it. So, in Aaron's defense, he did a very good job. So it was not a work function, but it was I always get these tickets through work. And so we went, and with all my colleagues and stuff around, he kept himself together fine. It's not a problem. The moment everyone left, though, that's when he crashed.
It was. I think
in the span of 10 minutes, I reckon.
Yeah, it hit me like a fucking truck. Yeah, it's towards the end. I guess I must have just started.
Yeah, that's.
Have you ever drank a beer before?
No, it's just frothing up, as you can see.
No. Yeah, that normally happens because you fucking flush it back, mate.
Excuse me, sorry, that was very rude of me. Continue with your story, please.
Yeah, I was fine, but then, because I got to get beer, so I started on the Chablis.
The what?
The champers.
The Chablis?
Yeah, Chablis.
I've never heard that phrase before.
That's another term for champagne. But yeah, I started on the champers, and then the wines just hit me like a fucking truck. So yeah, I was having a quick power nap while we were waiting for the Uber, and then you poured water in my ear. No,
so he's lying on the ground being a child. I told you to get up. I said, Aaron, get up. And then you went, and you get up. And then look. In all fairness, I did apologize for it. It was not my most mature move, but I was not intending to pour water in the ear. I decided to drop a little bit of water onto your face to get you up. But obviously it's dark and I can't see anything, so I didn't actually properly aim. Instead, I ended up pouring a little bit of water. It was not a bottle full. It was like a
quick little. Look, my recollection of is pretty vague.
Yeah, and that was it. Aaron's all red.
Yeah, I just remember like I said, my recollection's vague, but I was pretty pissed about him pouring water in my ear. So I just got up, pulled my hand back and punched him. I punched him in the arm. But what I can't remember...
Punch me in the chest.
What I can't remember, though, is how much red I saw. I can't remember if I was trying to, properly get you in the head, or if I was just trying to get you in the arm. That's the part I can't remember.
No, well, I can't speak from what you were feeling emotionally, but... So, yeah... when someone punches you, there's always that male instinct to retaliate.
Well, I remember you were pissed off about it, but then I remember as soon as I punched you, I immediately snapped out of my see red moment. And I was like, all right, I was a bit far.
Well, no, so he punches me, and like, yeah, I would never hit my friends. I'd never punch my friends.
But you were pretty pissed off about me punching.
I was pissed off because I was like, well, no, so he punches me, and I'd never hit my friend. But like, the instinct was for me to like shove him, like just off me. But I didn't end up doing that. And then I remember I just turned, I just looked at you, and I just said, "Did you just fucking punch me?" And then that's when you snapped out of it. That's when you snapped out of it, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm really sorry that I probably took it too far."
Yeah, I was like, all right, maybe this is a bit much. Because I'm not really the type to.
No, you're not.
I've told this story now a few times. People are like, you did that?
Yeah, who have you told? A few friends?
I told a mate who I played golf with.
Yeah.
And he was surprised.
No. Aaron's not aggressive dude. Like, we're all lovers, we're not fighters. And
Well, that time I got slapped in the face out front of your place.
Oh, yeah.
And even then I didn't square up. But that was mainly because it was me and like 4 other guys, and I was not,
I remember.
I was not in the situation.
That's a story for another
podcast. Anywho, we should probably wrap up topic 1.
Yeah.
Probably drove
he punched me, physically assaulted, I'm pressing charges. The end of our business relationship.
And friendship just overall.
Correct.
Who would have thunk it? A decade of friendship all
ruined in a single punch.
Yeah. Alright, I'm sure you've seen it a fair bit. Justin Roiland.
Fuck.
I guess
hit show.
Currently, I guess what we should definitely address first is that these are it's currently on trial.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, they're not proven guilty, but also like.
But in saying that, at least one media article I can remember is his video game company, Squanch Games.
Yeah. In
2019, they settled a lawsuit with a ex-female employee over allegations of her being sexually harassed. So there are things in the past that have now started coming up against him, but there is so far no, I guess, clear accusations or clear guilt. Until it goes to trial, you just don't know. But these are very serious charges, basically.
Oh, 100%.
Felony, or it's what? It's what? False imprisonment, felony domestic.
Like domestic abuse,
I think it's over 10 to 20 years imprisonment. He's potentially looking at if convicted guilty.
Yeah.
But he has been sacked by Alex Smith. He got sacked. I think I saw that today.
Yeah.
So me and you, or at least me, I do like Rick and Morty.
Oh, I do as well.
I'm not full on into Rick and Morty like some people.
You're a Rick and Morty stan.
Yeah, I'm not one of them. I like Rick and Morty, so it is a shame because I like Justin Roiland, because I like his work. I like the video games he's made, and then Rick and Morty and stuff. It was quite good. So it's a shame to, I guess, have this stuff like. If he's found if he's done it,
found guilty, it's like shit to have.
Yeah, he deserves. Like he does any punishment that he needs, he deserves. But it's always a bit of a kick in the nuts to hear shit like this.
Yeah, but in saying that, like, I think like Rick and Morty will go on.
Nah, it's Adult Swim's biggest fucking moneymaker.
Yeah,
it's gonna go on. It'll just be interesting because they're keeping Dan Harmon on. Dan Harmon's staying. Justin Roiland doesn't actually write the episode.
He just
voices it.
He's like the co-creator though, right?
Yeah. So apparently they're keeping him like he'll still be credited as the creator, but he's fucked off. They fucked off. But it'll be interesting who I think it'll make or break it though who they replace him with and how because they can sort of deal with it. The voice change, I reckon. Like just sort of with the whole.
I've seen a lot of funny things like. Some TikTok impersonator's going to make a lot of money now. Yeah. And I'm like
you got deep fakes. Maybe they just deep fake it.
Yeah, for real. Like, seriously, like, that's the thing. It's I feel like it's relatively simple to replace voice actors.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not overstepping, like, the work that voice actors do, but, like, if someone can make a similar sounding voice, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I guess, it'll be interesting who they get, honestly, to replace him. Because I don't think they'll go for deepfakes. I think they'll replace him. But I don't know who you'd, I couldn't even think of anyone who you'd replace him with. Maybe Dan Harmon will do it. I don't think he will.
I don't think... Is Dan Harmon a voice actor?
Oh, he's done a few... He'll hear his voice in a few bits and pieces. He does but only little bits.
cameos and
and
such.
There's a couple of songs, like the songs. There's one called "Glory to Gorzo." I don't know if you.
Oh yeah,
Dan Harmon.
yeah, I know the one.
Yeah, that's Dan Harmon.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, Dan Harmon as well had his own issues, but he.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Didn't Dan have things in the book?
Not legal, but it was never legal.
Convict.
It was never no. Well, they never pressed charges. It was like I remember someone came out and said, "Oh, that I think he asked her out on a date or something, and she rejected it, and he didn't handle that rejection well, and it affected their working. It affected their working relationship.
Right.
But he put his hands up and said, "I fucked up." So that's sort of why it got moved on. But now you got Justin Roiland where there's this, and then now there's
he's properly convicted. More
than one thing coming up from the past that they've sort of obviously been throwing money at stuff to shut it on the thing. So I think maybe if there weren't those previous accusations, because I like to think, innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, but when you come with these such serious accusations, and when they haven't even got to the proper details for the case, right? And there's already kind of compelling evidence. I mean, maybe we're shooting the shit, and it's it's not found. Who knows? But yeah,
I mean, if he gets found innocent, then it's a shame that all of this transpired. But I don't know about swim shoes. There's just too many negative headlines against it at the moment.
Yeah, you just got to make the call. It's do we... And I feel like the whole Johnny Depp Amber Heard kind of case is the opposite of this, right?
Well, I think that sort of sets the precedent now for stuff like this. So I think as well, Adult Swim probably would have taken it. Adult Swim was always sort of pegged me as a place that wouldn't that probably be not more lenient, but I don't know.
Is it because they're a bit more
edgy?
Yeah.
So I feel like
edgy, and then there's domestic assault.
Yeah. If they flicked him off, then obviously they would have put thought into it and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they took a few days. The allegations against him have been there for probably over a week until Adult Swim did anything. So they obviously put thought. They probably talked to people and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We'll see what happens with it, I suppose.
Well, it's going to take a couple of years for it now. It'll be a while. But yeah, he's looking at some serious jail time because felony is pretty big in America. Cool. I'm not. We don't really have felony as a classification here. So yeah, interesting to see where that goes, and to see where Rick and Morty goes. Really.
Yeah.
I hope it could. I reckon it's probably 80% it's dead, 20% they can pull it off.
Yeah, it will depend how they it depends how they recover from it.
I think they've got good writers, and I think Dan Harmon knows what he's doing. Yeah. I think, and they probably will recover from it. It'll just be. I think they'll write it in. They'll write it in.
I hope so.
But either they just find someone similar enough and try and ignore it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's Rick and Morty doesn't seem like a show that would ignore it.
No. What does it you think they would say? I went to a dimension now, my voice has changed slightly, kind of thing.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
some of that multiverse shit.
Yeah, I think that's in line with the show, right?
Yeah, I think that's what they'll do.
Yeah.
All right, near-death experiences.
Oh, where do I begin?
What sort of brought this topic up in my mind was I was starting to think. Well, because they've been doing the TAFE training.
Mm-hmm.
They sort of, my first week's just been health and safety.
You love that? The WHS?
They tell you pretty much every way that you can die on the job. And it sort of made me think about times I've nearly died. And there's really two instances that I would classify as near-death experiences. Number one was when I was 10 or 11. I was standing on this bridge, with my mum and brother. And I remember, it was I can't remember, I was in Sydney, and it was on a dirt trail, and then these motorbikes started coming, so we moved out of the way to just let them past, and I remember just seeing my mum's sunglasses sitting there on the bridge, so for some reason...
You went to go get them.
For some reason, whatever instinct took over me, and I grabbed them as these motorbikes were streaming towards us. I remember just closing my eyes, and I flicked them out of the way and stepping back. And seriously, I do not remember. I do not know how close they got. Like, it was pretty bad. Like, my mum said afterwards, she was like, that was so fucking close.
I thought you were going.
Yeah, I thought you were gone for sure. And I just remember, like, my eyes were closed. And I just remember hearing the sound of the motorbikes as they whizzed past. But yeah. And then the second one was when I electrocuted myself on a faulty charger. Because we've actually been learning a lot. Another thing that, which I will discuss after this, but I remember I was using this Apple charger. Oh, it wasn't an Apple brand charger. It was a knockoff one, but it broke. So like the plastic cover had come off, and I was still using it just with the metal, the electrical bits exposed.
Yeah.
And one day, one of the there's two connectors. I was looking around for an example. But like when you plug it into the wall, you've got the two prongs that go into the power point. And so like there was the
top two,
so there were the two connectors. And so one of them had split off. And I remember I was blind. I didn't know that though. I was blindly reaching around to try and plug it back in because otherwise my phone not charging. So I assumed it was out. And my hand touched the bare metal that was linked in to the power point, and I electrocuted myself. Fucking
how bad though? It's like
I burnt my thumb, and after that my arm was violently shaking for about half an hour. But I learned recently I was pretty lucky that I didn't, like now doing this electrically, I was pretty lucky.
A bit more kind of thing.
Yeah, I was pretty lucky I didn't, it was not a worse situation than what it ended up being. But it turns out with those, when we were using those
jumper cables,
if you had touched the metal, that would have been not good.
Yeah, I realised.
That's
why it wasn't. It was rubber.
Yeah. So, I don't think, we didn't film it. We wish we did. But we ended up, we've talked about a manual driving video in the past.
A few times.
So we tried to refilm it, and the battery in the car was dead. So we linked up the jumper cables.
Someone in the comments explain to me what the fuck happened. That'd be great, because I have no idea. Like, I'm not knowledgeable when it comes to cars, but I still don't understand how it happened, because I've never seen that. I've used jumper leads now a few times. I've never seen this happen before. I've jumped out of more cars than I can count.
We've done it's not something like it's not like we've come into this not knowing what we're doing. We've done it enough times.
Both cars are off.
Yeah, so we had both cars off, and then so I've used my car to try and jumpstart his girlfriend's car so we could film the video. And so we hooked up the cables as meant to, but yeah, positive, negative. And then we switched my car on. And then we switched my car on. And
your car wasn't even on yet.
Really?
No, your car wasn't on yet. No. So, my girlfriend's car was off. Didn't start. You see it in vlog number 1, actually. There's a bit of a reference. Vlog number 1, if you go to our vlogs channel, check that out. You notice at the end of the video, after like the outro's played, there's like a bit where it's like Aaron's filming me and I try and start the car. And the car does not start. I'll link it in the description. Check it out. Vlogs, the vlog video. The car does not start, and it's like, oh, it's dead. Because the reason why we made such a big fuss out of it, because that was all 100% authentic reaction, because we did this video previously, and her car was dead. Jump started it, not a problem. We did the video. It got corrupted. We couldn't do it. So we went, we'll go film it again. It was a good idea, blah, blah, blah. And that's when this whole thing happened. So, her car was off because it couldn't start it. Keys off, out of the ignition. His car, obviously, drove it up, close to bonnet, turned his car off, connected the jumper leads, and this was before we even turned it on.
Yeah, I'm having a quick look up because we melted. So when we did that, we connected jumper leads, and we literally.
We didn't just melt through the rod, we melted through the cable.
Yeah, we melted through the cable. I'm gonna look it up. I think it was copper. I'm gonna look up the melting point of copper.
They probably work copper.
Yeah, I reckon it was copper. Yeah. 1,085 degrees Celsius. We melted it somehow when we linked them up. Obviously, it's shorted somehow, and we've melted through not only just the plastic encasing, but the bits of the metal cables themselves have melted off completely.
So it was like handle jumpers.
Because the handle jumpers,
clips and then cable. That was all.
So we clipped it on, and we had issues before we even finished clipping them on, but we were like, fuck it, we'll just keep going. I don't know why we didn't just stop there, because electricity is never something you should fuck with. Like, if you want to die a gruesome death, electricity is the way to go. So yeah, we like we used to holding it while it was starting to like burn up and smoke. You know, I was like, fuck it, just put it on.
Well, no, I wasn't holding it while it was burning up and smoking. So what happened was, like, I connected positive to positive, and then I connected the negative to negative, and then it started smoking. Like once we'd connected them, and then I was like, "Oh fuck, we gotta get these off."
Yeah, and then like even like as you're getting them off, the copper or whatever metal melted straight through. And then it melted the plastic. So then once it melted through, the jumper leads just fell apart, and that solved the problem because the electricity couldn't conduct through them anymore.
Yeah.
But that situation was really close to being really grim. We really should have.
The things we do for vlogs, eh?
Yeah. Like if you had touched the copper or anything.
Well, no. Like I was gonna say, I'm not an idiot, but I mean, obviously, I feel like we could have handled that situation differently. Yeah. But, like, I also was not going to touch metal.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you had touched the metal, you would have gotten quite a nasty shock.
Well, that is the reason why they have the rubber.
Yeah.
It's conducted, yeah.
Yeah, well, you probably would have burned yourself more than anything.
Yeah.
Like, well, what? Assuming they were copper, which I think they were, and, 1,000 degrees of melted copper stuck to your hand.
That's a hospital trip.
Yeah, that's a hospital trip. Would have made for a good video though.
I'd rather make the video without.
Yeah, without hospital trip.
Yeah.
So have you got anything else to add to this near-death experience?
Look, I've had plenty of dumb decisions where I've been injured.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I could talk about ages about climbing things and falling down.
Well, actually, we've probably got one for a look into. We'll talk about it, I think, next topic, just to take it off. Of you, the falling through the clothesline.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, this is a good segue. A good segue in the next topic. So,
yeah. Well, we'll get more into it into the next topic.
Okay.
So, would you like to tell us the falling through the clothesline story?
Where do I begin? So, one of my best mates, he shares a name with another friend of mine. I met him up in Brisbane. Obviously, like Aaron and I, we grew up in the same town, as we've mentioned beforehand, and we still have a lot of our friends to this day who have come from that town. But this one particular friend of mine, I met him in Brisbane. He'd never set foot in our hometown before, and I was like, "Look, mate, bit of a wild place." This is when I was single at the time as well, and so was he. And we're like, bit of a wild place. Let's go back and run amok, I suppose. Yeah. Run the town, have a few drinks, have some fun. And so we did exactly that. So we caught up with 4 or 5 of our other friends. Like there was a few that were still there, a few came down, and I brought him down just to have fun. And so night went on, lots of drinks, lots of shit talking. Things happen in between, but then it gets to the end of the night. And at the end of the night, we get a maxi taxi, which is a big taxi, back up to my place.
I mean, when you hear the name maxi taxi, you don't assume small taxi, do you?
No. So we bus it. Well, we taxi it back. My friends who I brought down had already left at this point. Left the dinner, or not dinner. It was a night. He left the night. Not had enough, but he was fucked. We're all blind. And he goes, "I gotta go home, otherwise I'm not gonna make it through the night." And so we get home, and we find him like I had this. It was an apartment block, so there was like the communal bins, and in the communal bins there was like a concrete sort of
alcove.
Yeah. And he was lying on the top, like sleeping. And me and 2 other mates like trundle in. I fell out of the taxi pretty much. I think I may have a few videos from that night, so I'll see if I have anything. I won't put sound on, but you can have a look in the corner of the screen. I'll throw it up there just to show the shenanigans of the night. But yeah, anyway.
This was probably back in like 2019. It was before COVID. It was
3 years ago.
Before
3-4 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2019. The year before it all went to hell.
Yeah.
So no, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was 2020.
No, I think it was 2019.
I don't think I still lived in Coffs though, because I moved here in 2020, just before as COVID jumped.
Anyway, it happened. No one cared. It happened in a year, And so yeah, we get back, and he's having a nap. We trying to out. I fall out of the taxi. We trying to go inside. Now my sister, who I was talking earlier in the podcast about, she was home as well. And our apartment block kind of worked like there was a level, like kind of like a grassy area where you could come in and like through like a side door.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like the main door. If you wanted to go up the main door, you had to go in the garage, like down a driveway, like up back through the apartment block.
Well, yeah, shed. Well, you had your driveway, and then there at the end of the driveway there was like a guardrail.
Massive guardrail because it had like big, like it was like big drop.
Yeah.
So anyway, the reason why I was telling you about the doors was because we didn't want to go wake my sister up, and I don't want to mess with my sister. And she's sleeping, and I'm like, all right, we need to go get in. So we go downstairs to go through upstairs, and they shut the garage door, and no one could get in. And I'm like, all right, I used to do this incredible thing when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I used to be quite a nimble fella. I could climb shit and whatever. I used to climb down the side of this big drop. So as Aaron said, you go down the driveway, there's guardrail. Beyond that guardrail, there's probably, what, how long, 5 minute drop?
5,
4,
probably.
3?
No, 2.5, 3
3 minute
maybe.
drop. 3 minute drop. And it's like washing lines and that kind of stuff. The whole place is built on a big hill. Anyway, so I used to do this cool thing when I was a kid. I'd climb down the side and let myself in like through another door, which was never locked. And so I was like, I can do that. I still can do that. Being 20 years old now, not a child.
No.
Being significantly bigger than I was
And
as a
also
child.
not sober.
Not sober.
I think the biggest factor in this story is the not sober part. I think if you were sober, you would have been fine.
I'll go try. Well, I don't know. Yeah, who knows? But that was probably the biggest thing. Anyway, so I do that. I'm like, I'll climb over this guardrail. And I, without even thinking, like, step my foot over this guardrail to go and, like, climb down it. And, like, my mate, the one who was sleeping on top of the beds, he goes, what the fuck are you doing? And he starts sprinting down the driveway. And I'm like, trust me, dude, I got this. And, like, little did I know that they'd actually installed new washing lines. And so the problem was with these new washing lines is they extended out further than the old ones did. The old ones were a bit shorter, which meant I could, like, scale it in a certain part of the wall where there was no washing line. But the problem was, like, the washing lines now went where I used to put my feet.
Yeah.
And so I lost my balance and I fell. Like, I'm talking, whoop! I fell back and I fell through this washing line. Like, I fell at the 2.5, 3 meters.
Yeah.
And like concrete, like there's a retaining wall. Like, it was a whole thing. Not my best moment either.
And you probably hurt yourself.
I did. Again, I do have a photo of this. I'll put it up on screen.
Like,
This is the aftermath.
Cut up.
I was cut up. Like,
It was a good thing that you felt that the washing line.
the washing line
pushed
broke
you
my fall. And I'm also very lucky that I didn't actually hit my head on the retaining wall.
Because you broke the washing line off the wall.
Yeah, I broke it off the fixture because I fell through it and it broke my fall. But again, there it is up on screen. Check it out. That's me in my prime.
Yeah.
Come a long way since then. But yeah, I fell and it really hurt. Like, I grazed all of my arms. And by that point, 2 of the other boys who were waiting were like, all right, now it's time to go in through the sister entrance because Alex might be dead. So they're banging on the door trying to get my sister up, and they're like, Alex is fucking dead. And she's a doctor now, and she's was studying at the time, and she's like, oh my god, I gotta go fucking sew this guy back together now. And like, I literally walk into the, like, I get up, I laugh it off. There's a little old lady in one of the apartments. This is like 3 a.m. There's a little old lady in one of the other apartments. She looks down and she calls, are you alright? And then my mate who's standing on the top who's watched me fall, he goes, Alex, you good? And I just give her, he's like, yeah, he's good. And anyway, so they go through and I stumble up the stairs now. And so to be fair, I did achieve what I wanted to achieve, which was letting ourselves in. And so I went upstairs and I opened the door and there was my sister standing there just like mad as
Were
anything.
you like covered in blood?
I was covered in blood, like genuinely, like I know the photo I'm talking about. There's like blood on my elbows, but didn't do it justice. Like, it was like all down like my forearms, and like
So you
there was,
walk in covered in blood.
there's blood on my hands. Like, no, and I'm fucking trying to do this, and like I lean on like the door to like balance myself, and I leave like this like bloody handprint, and my sister's like, holy shit, what happened to you? And I said, you're gonna love this. I said, it's okay, it's all good. I'm just sunburnt. I tried to tell my sister that I was just sunburned. That's the reason why I was so red. Yeah, and then the next day, the little lady who asked if I was okay up in the apartment block, she she came and had a massive talking to about, well, I refused to go to the door because I said I don't want to deal with this, but she came and told my mum off. Well, she told me off to my mum and said, he's lucky that he didn't do this and didn't do that. And
Like, I agree.
I agree. I'm the victim here. Yeah. I'm the victim of my own actions.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, so, yeah, that was an eventful night. And I thought, to be fair, replaced the fixture. I did my little handyman work. I reckon that washing line's never been strong. I reckon next time I fall through it, it'll hold me.
Yeah.
And I've just made a little net. I'll just be able to bounce off it. Yeah.
So, our first leak of launching, Alex, how do you think that went?
Our first leak of launching. How did that go? Now, look, I think our first 24 hours was awesome. Yeah, like I've kind of alluded to, if you've seen any other videos and as you've listened today, we are a multidisciplinary. We're a multi-channel team. Aaron and I, we cover gaming. We've got our vlogs channel. You've obviously got our podcast, but we've got our shorts channel as well, which is basically like a short version of all of the above. And our kind of aim is to cover as many bases as we can moving forward. Starting with these things, to be honest, we're kind of focusing on gaming and podcast and the shorts. Vlogs we're going to release as we kind of get and build content and things like that. But, you know, we do want to expand that as well. But yeah, our first week, our shorts have been going very, very well. In our first 24 hours, we got over 5,000 views across like our launch.
So do thank you, Shields.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you. Like if you're a reoccurring guest, reoccurring audience, we 100% appreciate it. It was like blew our mind. Like, you know, obviously like we do want to build this channel and we do want to build the audience like alongside with you guys. You know, we want to grow with you effectively. Yeah, like it was, I suppose, a bit of a shock to see 5,000 views in 24 hours. Like
was what we were expecting.
No, like we're not in it for the short term. You know what I mean? Like it's not about overnight success and all this sort of stuff. Like we want to do our own thing and kind of grow it over time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting. It was really, really cool to see. And you know, obviously we've been releasing content kind of like steady since then, and it's still going quite well. There's a few things that we've kind of taken notes of that we want to improve on and change and things like that, how we can make it better. Yeah. That's the thing, each time we fix something, there's something else that we could do to kind of adjust.
Yeah. So if you got any feedback, please comment below.
Oh, 100%. Like that's the thing, like at the end of the day, I think the most important thing is like we're making the videos for you. You tell us what you want to see, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's like we're gonna do things at our own pace and things like that, but you know, you want to hear our opinion on a certain topic or a certain thing, or you want to tackle this new idea. Like we're here for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been good. Like, we've also got our socials and everything as well, which is starting a bit slower than we thought, but we'll get there.
Yeah, but mate, if you like the contact, please go to our Facebooks and Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And we will, at the moment, not yet. We don't have any exclusive content, but we are planning on having exclusive socials only content. So if there are more, if you would like to see more content, you need to go onto our socials.
100%. And the biggest thing, like, you know, as a small creator, the impactfulness of like a like and comment is huge. Like, I never thought that I would be like the type of guy to be like, oh, like the video and everything like that. But like, it really kind of, it's what keeps us going. It
it's
gives
what YouTube needs you to do.
It's not even about that. It's like it tells us that you like the content. Like we don't want to be making things and pushing things out there if it's not good.
No.
We're not ones to shy away from criticism. So if you like it, please leave us a like 100%. We really, really, really appreciate that. Leave us some comments. We'll reply back to them.
And we've got more plans for the future, but it just can't happen unless you like, subscribe, and
subscribe, turn on notifications. Are there any other boxes?
So
check out our other channels.
Check out our other channels. Check out our socials.
It feels like we're ending the video. We're not ending the video. We still got a brew review to go.
Yeah, this is probably should have been segment 6, but it was only segment 5.
Yeah. But overall, yeah. But basically, in summary, our first week of launch has been good.
Yep.
There's a few things we want to take away and improve on.
But thank you for your early support.
100%. It'll be like those videos that I see on TikTok at the moment. It's like my first few subscribers.
Yeah.
Screenshots rather. But yeah, like super appreciative.
So thank you.
And yeah, sorry, before we change the next segment, like you can clearly tell, like, you know, we obviously are amateurish at this. Like, we're sitting in a room with a bedside table, like, but we're obviously going to put more into it the more people put into it.
We're sitting in a room in a bed with a bedside table.
And it's probably like
we can't even turn
40 degrees in here.
We can't even turn the air conditioning on because it makes too much noise.
Please,
God.
please, like, so we can get an air conditioner.
That makes no noise.
It makes no noise. Yeah. Anyway, that's me done.
Yeah. Thank you. So this week's brew, Great Northern Original. I mean, I can't act like tonight is the first time I've drank one of these. I love Great Northern Original. They're always one of my go-tos.
Is it one of your go-tos?
You being sarcastic again?
No, like I genuinely mean it.
No, yes, it is one of my go-tos. I mean, we like to mix it up. Great Northern Original in Australia at least is a pretty mainstream beer. A lot of people drink it.
Especially in Queensland.
Great Northern Original is a beer that non-beer drinkers like. Something I've noticed.
Especially super crisp.
Like my girlfriend, she doesn't drink beer, but she can drink a Great Northern Original. Or Great Northern in general. I don't know why I keep saying Great Northern Original. So they do two versions of this Great Northern Original, which is a 1.1 Stando, or Great Northern Super Crisp, which is 0.9. They both taste the same, in my opinion. But, I mean, at the end of the day, unless you want to drink like a watered down version of this, you may as well just buy the fucking original. So yeah.
So yeah, we'll do the Euro shot. Yeah, 1.1 cent drinks for a bottle. 4.2%. Any fun facts in the bottle? Established in Cairns. There you go. Great Northern Australia. 1927. Unique Northern Australian climate. Apparently, it's brewed for. Yeah, it's refreshing. That's basically what it says on here.
I mean, I love Great Northern Original. I could never give it it's never going to be a bad rating in my books. If you like beer, you'll like this pretty much. Like, it's nothing like what we've reviewed so far, in my opinion, really. It's just,
Well, it's probably the first lager, like
yeah.
Standard lager.
Like, if you go to a pub in Australia, you'll find this on tap. If you go to a bottle shop in Australia, you'll find cartons of this. Like, it's always the guaranteed option here in Australia. And I have to say, if you come to Australia, if you come to Australia, if you live in Australia, it's strongly recommended. I mean,
sounds like you love it.
I do love it. I mean, it's like I said, it's one of my go-tos. I had a carton of it sitting in my garage, which is why we're drinking it this evening.
That's why it's warm.
Yes. I think part of the reason why it's warm is because everything's fucking warm at the moment, including myself.
Anyway, what would you rate it?
What's got it out of 6? For me, it's got to be a 5.5. I really can't fault it. I love it so much.
Nice.
What would you rate it at?
I'll give my opinion. So I like Great Northern. It is, Aaron's right, it's a good safe. I suppose it's like it's a good safe beer. It's like, if there's nothing else on tap that takes your fancy and Great Northern's there, you'll have it. I personally, it's not my go-to. I prefer other standard drinks to this one. I don't dislike it. Like, I think it's a very safe beer. I do got to give the Super Crisp credit. Your description of the watered down version of this, yes, is accurate. But if I was to have a light beer, to say, if I was, like, sometimes I go visit my girlfriend at the pub, you know,
Yeah.
if I'm driving, I'll like the beer that I will have, like a mid strength or like a low strength, will be a Great Northern Super.
I agree. I drink. If I do need to drive, I will drink Super Crisps.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't drink them, but if you're planning on drinking, these are a better option.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not too heavy, like, compared to... This is probably the least heavy full strength in Australia.
Yeah,
one of the least heavy full strength.
It is a very refreshing beer. Like, this is kind of like sit on the beach with an Esky, smash down a couple of Great Northerns kind of beer.
I mean, these right now are somewhat warm, and that's the thing. They're still alright.
Yeah, I will give it a modest 5.1. It's a good, safe beer. It's not my favourite. I don't go buy cartons of Great Northern. if it's not on sale. But also if presented with Great Northerns or if I go to the pub or something like.
Well, I've normally got I've especially got a few go-tos, and like I sort of wrote like well, it depends on what's on special typically.
I'm heavy. I'm a heavy drink, like not a heavy drink.
You're a heavy drinker.
I like heavy brews. Yeah. Like I do like ones that have got a lot of flavour, like that are quite hearty. And Great Northern's not that. Like it's a very refreshing light. Like it's a very easy beer to drink. That's what I'm trying to say. And sometimes that's not always what I want.
Yeah. But yeah, strongly recommend. We will review, I guess, in the future the other like. Man,
I rated it 5.1 or 5.2.
I think it was a 5.1.
Okay, 5.1. If I rated 5.2, it's now 5.1. What did you rate it?
5.5.
Okay.
We've got other beers.
Combined 10.6.
We're planning on
10.6 out of 12.
Yeah. We're planning on mixing it up in the future, like with you'll like now in the couple of weeks you'll see a few more less mainstream beers, but I mean we drink a fair few of the mainstream beers, so I like to show them off.
Yeah, especially I think for an international audience, no one will know Great Northern is. I think it's easy to go. Oh, everyone knows Great Northern, but no one knows Great Northern if you live in Australia.
And as well, we will review some international ones. So
yeah, maybe we'll get an international one next week.
Keep tuning in to hear our takes on them.
Yeah. All right. We'll wrap it up, I suppose.
Yep. Well, just thank you for listening to this week's podcast. Thank you for. Make sure you check out our other content, and thank you for so far viewing our other content. Really. So far we're happy. Really, we launched Monday. Today is Thursday, and really I've expected a lot less than this. So more than thrilled. With what's gone so far.
Yeah, 100%. Like I don't think we need to push the message too much more than we were kind of talking out of the segment. But yeah, really appreciate you.
Honestly, if you like what you're seeing, just subscribe.
Yeah,
that's probably the biggest thing.
100%. Subscribe. Why not? Doesn't cost anything. If you don't like it, if we make an episode you don't like, unsubscribe later.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. What have you lost? What have we lost?
Honestly, if you don't like something, comment. Like if you like, get rid of that fucking Alex dude. He's gone.
He's gone. We're all replaceable. Next thing he comes in, there's a new Alex. He's got like blonde hair, like incredibly tan, like
much like Justin Roiland. He's replaceable.
Yeah, I'm not just a voice actor though.
No.
100%. Thank you so much for watching this episode and watching this week's episode of the podcast, Six Pack Podcast. We today have reviewed the Great Northern Original. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Enjoy the rest of your day.